Welcome to Oasisify. On September 8, 2022, sad news shocked the world.
Buckingham Palace announced the death of Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth II.
A mezz'asta è morta la regina Elisabetta II.
La reine Elisabeth II est morte à l'âge de 96 ans.
Königin Elisabeth II. Ist tot.
The Queen of England, Queen Elizabeth II, passed away at the age of 96. She was Queen Regent of 32 sovereign states during her lifetime, and 15 at the time of her death. Her reign of 70 years and 214 days is the longest of any British monarch, the longest recorded of any female head of state in history, and the second longest verified reign of any monarch in history. She was married to Prince Philip, who passed away in 2021. She is best known for her moral support to the British people during World War II and her longevity. The Queen visited over 100 countries as head of state. In the lifetime of 96 years old, she saw many ups and downs of history. In this video, we are going to tell you about top 10 historic moments that Queen Elizabeth II witnessed. Number 10. 1939. Britain declares war on Germany. Following the invasion of Poland by Germany, Britain declares war and enters into the Second World War. Princess Elizabeth was just 13 years old when war broke out, but the future queen still played an integral role in the war effort. While King George VI and Queen Elizabeth, later the Queen Mother, remained at Buckingham Palace, Elizabeth and Princess Margaret were moved out to Windsor Castle for the safety before the Blitz, remaining there until the armistice. Famously, on the 13th of October 1940, Her Majesty gave her first public address as part of the BBC's Children Hour. As the war progressed, she took on more and more duties, from championing the government's Dig for Victory campaign by tending her own allotment to joining the Auxiliary Territorial Service, where she trained as both a driver and a mechanic. Number 9. 1947. India and Pakistan declares independence from Britain. On the 14th of August 1947, British rule in Asia's region ended and the partition of India and Pakistan was established. When Queen Elizabeth II ascended the throne in 1952, the British Empire had recently lost the proverbial jewel in the crown, India, and the subcontinent was still reeling from the bloodshed of the partition that had led to the creation of Pakistan in 1947. Despite the bitter history of colonialism in South Asia, the Queen was not a controversial figure in the otherwise fairly dense annals of South Asia anti-colonial nationalism. The Queen visited India 3 times and Pakistan twice during her 70-year reign. 8. 1969. Man walks on the moon. July 1969 was the culmination of the space race between the USA and USSR, both eager to be the first to set a man on the moon. On July 20th, Neil Armstrong was the first man to take the giant leap for mankind. Queen Elizabeth II extended her goodwill message to the Apollo 11 astronauts, which was carried in a silicon disc and placed at a landing site on the moon as a sign of humanity's expansion beyond low Earth orbit. On behalf of the British people, I salute the skills and courage which have brought man to the moon. May this endeavor increase the knowledge and well-being of mankind. 7. 1989. Demolition of the Berlin Wall. The Berlin Wall dividing East and West Germany was dismantled by protesters on November 9, 1989. The fall signified the dissolution of the Soviet Union and Iron Curtain. World events often move fast, but it is hard to match the pace and power of change in 1989. It culminated in one of the most famous scenes in recent history, the fall of the Berlin Wall. The wall came down partly because of a bureaucratic accident, but it fell amid a wave of revolutions that left the Soviet-led communist bloc teetering on the brink of collapse and helped define a new world order. Queen Elizabeth II paid Germany a total of 4 official state visits. Probably the most historically significant was the first visit in 1965, which sealed Britain's reconciliation with Germany after the Second World War. Number 6. 1997. Hong Kong and the end of the British Empire. Hong Kong, a former British colony, was returned to China in 1997. However, before the transition took place, China agreed that would make one country, 2 systems, constitutionally ensuring that despite the country being handed over to China, They would guarantee that Hong Kong's economic and political systems would not be changed for 50 years after the handover. This meant that Hong Kong remained a capitalist state despite China's communist rule. Queen Elizabeth herself visited Hong Kong twice while the city was a British territory, while her son, now King Charles III, attended the handover ceremony. Still, the city's colonial past was far from peaceful, nor was it without its critics. Before moving further, please subscribe to our channel and click on the notification icon so you'll get notified when we upload our next video. Number 5. Princess Diana's death. Princess Diana died in Paris on August 31, 1997, after her car was being chased by paparazzi and the drunk driver on the wheel. A quarter century ago, Princess Diana's shocking death provoked outrage at the royal family. Queen Elizabeth's passing, in contrast, has been draped in civility and respect. Queen Elizabeth II remained quiet at Balmoral Castle in Scotland with her grandsons Prince William, 15, and Prince Harry, 12. Many critics accused her of appearing detached and aloof at a time of tragedy, but a little-known letter that she wrote reveals the Queen felt anything but detached. 6 days after Princess Diana's death, the Queen wrote to one of her closest aides, Lady Henriette Abel-Smith. Her heartfelt words offer a rare glimpse into the Queen's other role, a grandmother consoling her grieving grandsons. Number 4. 2001 9/11 terrorist attacks. A series of 4 coordinated attacks on American soil by al-Qaeda, the incidents of Tuesday, September 11, 2001 were felt around the world. The attacks led to a major shift in the American administration. Queen Elizabeth II broke tradition after 9/11 terror attacks to show solidarity with the U.S. Queen Elizabeth II made an unprecedented move in the immediate aftermath of 9/11. 2 days after Americans were left stunned by the deadliest terror attacks in the country, the Queen directed the band of the Coldstream Guards to play the Star-Spangled Banner during the changing of the guard at Buckingham Palace in order to pay tribute to the lives that were lost on that tragic day. Number 3. 2002 Golden Jubilee. The Queen's celebration of her 50th year on the throne was marred by a double loss when her younger sister, Princess Margaret, and their mother died within weeks of each other. As the first British monarch since Queen Victoria to celebrate a Golden Jubilee, Elizabeth traveled more than 40,000 miles that year, including visits to the Caribbean, Australia, New Zealand, and Canada. She also visited 70 cities and towns in 50 counties in the United Kingdom. Compared with the tumultuous 1990s, the start of Elizabeth's second half-century as queen coincided with the beginning of more positive relations between Britain and its royal family. In 2005, a majority of the British public supported Charles's wedding to his longtime love, Camilla Parker Bowles. Number 2. 2008 Global Economic Crisis. The financial crisis's impact on the UK economy was more significant than some other countries. This had to do with several factors unique to the UK. After listening to economists discuss the crisis during a tour of the London School of Economics in November 2008, Queen Elizabeth II famously asked, "If these things were so large, how come everyone missed them?" Her question crystallized a widespread view that the economics profession largely failed to predict the massive event and had much to learn from its failure. The sentiment had provoked a wide-ranging debate among economists about what specific lessons can be learned from the crisis. That is, how understanding the crisis ought to shape the future direction of their discipline. Number 1. 2022 Russian invasion of Ukraine. Queen Elizabeth didn't speak publicly about the Russian invasion of Ukraine. She expressed her feelings about the situation with one significant action. UK Charity Disasters Emergency Committee announced that the Queen made a donation to support their fundraising efforts. Buckingham Palace later confirmed that the Queen made the donation with her private funds, but did not share the amount. The Disasters Emergency Committee Ukraine Humanitarian Appeal also took to their official Twitter handle to thank the Queen for her donation. Many thanks to Her Majesty the Queen for continuing to support the Disasters Emergency Committee and for making a generous donation to the DEC Ukraine Humanitarian Appeal. If you've made it this far, please let us know in the comments. What do you think about Queen Elizabeth II? Please leave a like and subscribe to Oasisify. Thanks for watching. Have a nice day.